All right, everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV with me, Matt. After a 2-2 draw at home to Tottenham Hotspur, a really good point for us, considering that technically we could still end up in the relegation zone after Fulham's game today. But it is a point towards safety. Welcome if you're joining us from the watch along, and if you're just joining us for the post-match reaction, welcome as well. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and drop a like on the video as well. It costs you nothing and it helps us out a load. Right, let's get to it then. We haven't got too much time today. We'll start with the starting lineup. Much changed from the Brighton game, which I think was needed after a humiliating 3-0 defeat. It was shocking to say the least, and now that's 6-0 on aggregate to Brighton this season, which is daft, really. But yeah, so we needed changes, and Steve Bruce thought, you know what, playing a team with an England international that scores for fun against, you know, Gareth Bale and Son, and then a French World Cup winning goalkeeper in goal. We've got to make some changes, play defensive. So we went 5 at the back with 3 in midfield and 2 up top. Personnel-wise, we had Dummett filling in at centre-back as well as Kraft, and then Jacob Murphy playing as the right wing-back, getting a rare start in a Newcastle shirt for him, and Richie coming in from the cold as well at left wing back. We'll get on to how they performed a little bit later on. And then it was a midfield 3 of Almiron, Sean Longstaff, who again, first appearance in a while, and John Joe Shelby with Dwight Gale and Joe Linton up top. Started a bit shaky, not going to lie. They had a couple of chances where, you know, we didn't look solid at the back. The team was still kind of feeling it out. And I think that just comes from the inexperience of not playing together. One centre-back in a back 5 is never a good sign. Even though, you know, you've got Paul Dummett, who's more than capable of playing there. And those guys haven't really played together at all. We started a bit shaky, but we got into the rhythm of the game. They had the ball in the back of the net, but it was very clearly offside, but that was a warning sign. And yeah, I mean, pretty much fairly early on in the first half, we turned up. You know, there was a high press on Matt Ritchie with his constant energy, Dwight Gale hounding the defenders, forced them into mistake, into Sean Longstaff, calm as you like, on a play at Joe Linton, and it's still a difficult finish, you know, because if that ball's coming across his body, he could try and put it back across the goalkeeper where the defender is, but he opens his body up, side foots it, and the keeper has absolutely no chance. 1-0 up the mags, we're sailing. 90 seconds later, 1-1, Emil Kraft decides he's not a professional footballer and tries to pass it to Harry Kane in the 6-yard box. I don't know what on earth Javier Manquillo has to do to get into the side above this melon, because I know he was playing at centre-back today, but that's no excuse. We had Kieran Clark on the bench. We've got a capable back 4. If you were going to play Richie as a left-back, Dummett as a centre-back, Lascelles as a centre-back, and then Manquillo as a right-back. Manquillo, you can argue he's not fully fit. You can argue he's had his injury problems, but he's been in the squad for the last few game weeks now. For me, Kraft should be nowhere near this Newcastle team ever again. Not just because today, I just don't rate him at all. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with that as well. But he cost us the first goal, and then the second goal, which followed not too long after. Paul Dummett playing the striker on, playing Harry Kane onside. And it was a pretty simple finish for a player of his caliber. Not directly blaming Dummett here, because he's not used to being a centre-back and keeping that stringent offside trap on. You know, we can't blame him for letting that player slip, but I think that the blame lies with Steve Bruce for starting people in the wrong positions. We just looked out of place in that first half. We were unlucky not to go in level or even in the lead. I just saw a comment flash up there. If Gale puts his chances away, yeah, we do win this game. We had a beautiful cross in. I forget, it came in from the right-hand side. It was Murphy or Kraft. I want to say it's Murphy after I've just slagged Kraft off. And Gale gets right between the two defenders, flicks a header on. The pundit said he should be doing better with that, but personally, I think he did as much as he could have done with that header. It's a fantastic save from Lloris for the first one, and it's a difficult finish for Gale on the rebound there. He takes it with his left, and it's unlucky not to creep in the front post. But like the comments said, that goes in. We win this game. Now, we mentioned the personnel before we get onto the winning goal. We mentioned the personnel at the start of the video. Players that came in, you know, Murphy, Gale, Longstaff, Richie, all players that are relatively short on game time. They come in against a Spurs team challenging for the top 4. You know, this is a team that was in the Champions League final a couple of years ago, and they've been asked to do a massive job. Sit in, hit them on the break, grab chances when we created a fair bit. I thought Richie was absolutely outstanding today, as was Jacob Murphy on the right hand side. They did their jobs, getting forward when they could, keeping that ball moving, because I've noticed when we play wing backs or attacking fullbacks with Lewis and sometimes on the other side as well, they get so far up the pitch, then they turn around and come back, they pass it back to the centre backs, they restart the move, look for other avenues. With today, Murphy was constantly looking to beat his man off the dribble. He got past Reggie on a couple of times. Richie was always looking to play a quick 1-2 with the striker or get Gale into the channels. So it worked really well having them. I thought they shone today, and definitely shouts for man of the match for me, those two. Joe Linton getting his annual goal against Spurs. Did really well up top today. Obviously, he missed a bit of a sitter in the second half, which we'd probably be slating him for if we'd lost this game. But took his goal really well. I thought he was decent as a target man. He brought a lot of aerial balls down. He brought Gale into the fold a few times. My issue with Joe Linton today was him throwing his toys out of the pram towards the end of the game when he wasn't getting the service that he wanted. So there was a couple of times Saint-Maximin went for a dribble and Joe Linton was clearly in a lot of space and he didn't get the ball. So he just gave up. You know, if that's someone like Dwight Gale, that's someone like Callum Wilson, they're starting again. They're making another run, opening up more space for Saint-Maximin to come into. But can't criticise him too much. Thought he had a really good game overall and obviously got that goal as well. Yeah, it was the way the team set up today, I think, that got us the point. Credit where credit's due to Steve Bruce. You know, he set up defensively to stop them creating chances. At times, it was our back five against their front five with, you know, Harry Kane up top and then Lucas Moura supporting with the wingers down the sides as well. And the way we set up to contain them went really well for us today. And we've got to mention Miguel Almiron's the clearance off the line as well. Fantastic header off the line. He wasn't involved as much as he usually is today with his runs, but I thought he did a solid job in midfield. Can't criticise him at all. And that's why you put people on the post from corners, because you get not necessarily the first chance that comes in, but that second ball when Tanganga attacked it, that's a goal. And Almiron's there, just nods it off the line, casual as you like, saves the game for us. Yeah. Manvia there, Joe Linton starts to deserve more credit. Joe Linton's been putting in some good performances recently, and he's not stealing the headlines, and he does have these games where he's invisible, but he's putting in average performances, which is all we can ask, and he's just got to bring other players in around him. As soon as we start bringing that quality around him, that's when he starts to shine, I think. That final goal, yeah, like I say, credit where credit's due to Steve Bruce. Substitutions today, definitely the right personnel changes, potentially not the right times. We maybe could have nicked a winner if we'd made them a little bit earlier. But Joe Willock and Saint-Maximin coming off the bench, which were the main two people involved in the creation of the second goal for us. Saint-Maximin, lovely little dribble, lovely little 1-2. Forced it out to the left-hand side. Matt Ritchie, again, beautiful ball in. Joe Linton, fantastic. Doesn't get greedy, doesn't go for goal. Flicks it back across goal. Almiron does his best to get it there. Takes two defenders out the equation. Then Joe Willock smashes it in off the crossbar. And I'm not just saying this as a reaction to today's game, but we need to sign Joe Willock. Whether we go up, whether we stay up, whether we go down, he's been fantastic. He brings something to this team that we just do not have in this team currently. He's a good ball carrier. He's constantly got his head up looking for runs in behind. He's basically John Joe Shelby with athleticism and a willingness to get forward. But yeah, we did have our wobbles today. Let me know in the comments if you think this was a point earned or 2 points dropped, because it definitely could have gone either way today. It was a very open game, not like a Newcastle United game. But yeah, we've got some tough games coming up. Tune Down Under saying the real question, can we play that way moving forward? We need to play like this and we might be safe. Yeah, we've got some really tough games coming up. We've got Burnley away next week, followed by West Ham at home. Two teams in decent recent form, but two teams that are definitely going to be easier games, you'd hope, than the Liverpool, Arsenal, Leicester and Man City games that followed those. So we need to pick up some points in the next couple of games and just pray that Fulham trip up. But Fulham going into their game tonight, 8 games on the road, unbeaten. And yeah, playing against a weakened Aston Villa side. So could very much be a case of us starting next week in the relegation zone. Unfortunately, we need to pick up some results. But as always, don't forget to get involved in the comments down below and stay tuned for the rest of our content here on NFTV tonight. We've got the live fan reaction coming up next. So get in there if you want to have your say. I believe that's with Carl and Brandon and myself, Sam, and think maybe Johnny is on scoring the players later on. So don't forget to join us there and chip in with your ratings today. And of course, the last word later on tonight. But as always, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like on this and subscribe to the channel and NFTV Extra as well. Helps us out massively. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.